Now let's talk with Brad Hirschfield. Brad, thank you for joining us today, and we want to welcome you home. We know you were raised here on the North Shore.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you for having me to the show and to Chicago.
Wonderful. Well, I thought we might start with you talking a little bit about your organization in New York, because I think it'll frame our conversation really well. The National Jewish Center for Learning and Leadership. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
The Hebrew word, it's an acronym. The Hebrew word klal, it's the Hebrew word for inclusive. And imagine in a world where more and more walls are going up between people. There's people trying to use the particular tradition they love to build greater inclusivity. What that means in a particular faith community, mine Jewish, is that there really should be room in the Jewish community for anyone who wants a place, regardless of dogma or doctrine or belief. We're not going to all get along, but we can all be together. And maybe even more significantly in the world today, that we believe Jewish isn't about being Jewish. Jewish is a way of being human, and it can belong to anyone. That the ideas that fill up my life and shape my days and frame my dreams, there's no reason they're exclusive property of me or the Jewish people. And to imagine that really what faith communities need to do now is figure out, without relinquishing one iota of the pride in their particular church or mosque or temple or tradition, without giving up one scintilla of the particularity of their practice, understand that until it meets the measure of serving humankind, actually it's not even going to serve them, let alone all of us.
So, Brad, let's talk about the people who just don't get that. And you know, right now in the news, it just seems like there's so much religious extremism, and it's so painful, I think, particularly when someone in your own faith is up there representing Christianity, calling people to burn Qurans and this sort of thing. And one of the things I think that makes you such a compelling writer and speaker on this subject is that you know what it's like to be an extremist, that you've been there. And can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, before I get to the me as extremist part, you said something really important, William. You admitted that it's particularly painful when people in our own traditions do it. The first step in figuring this out is to know that more often than not, the rage we feel is because we're disappointed by someone about whom we care. Now imagine when they really annoy us the most, whether it's a Christian doing something or a Jew doing something, whatever, say, wow, the reason I'm so upset with you is because I feel so deeply connected to you. If I didn't care about you, if I didn't feel we shared something, I'd say just go on your merry way and we'll get out of each other's way. So I think it's really important to know that actually frustration and pain and even rage is often a sign of connection.
Related to love.
And it is connected to love.
All right, tell us about your wild days.
Okay, then I wasn't getting out of it, huh? Look, they were actually also motivated by love. I found myself at the age of 17, a gun in one hand and a holy book in the other, living in Hebron. One of, if not the most disputed piece of real estate anywhere in the Middle East and maybe the world. One of about, I guess there were about 60 of us Jewish settlers amidst 60,000 Palestinian residents. And I was there because I believed God wanted me there. And there is something so exciting about feeling, wow, God is speaking to me. And I don't mean some crazy way I'm hearing voices. I never had that. But that I pick up a Bible and I can live what it says. And it's absolutely the way to go. I know it. It is intoxicating. And like any great intoxicant, we know two things will always be true. It feels great going in, and you have a really ugly hangover the next morning, or the next week, or the next year. And so without diminishing the intoxicating beauty of that kind of fanaticism, because I don't think making fun of it will help. I don't think relating to fanatics as stupid people will help. I don't think relating to them as crazy people will help. It's just the opposite. We're going to need to appreciate the profound power of that kind of absolute faith, and then simply say to people, yeah, but what's the cost? Because the cost we pay, even the fanatics, every single time, is simply too high. It's simply too high. So you won't even get what you want by doing the intoxicant. In that sense, faith can be just one more drug. And like any drug, it can heal or it can make us really sick. It's not the drug's fault. It's not the faith's fault. It's the user.
Brad, we have to have you back on the program sometime. And for our viewers, I think they need to read your book. You don't have to be wrong for me to be right to hear more about your personal story. But thank you so much for being with us today. Wish we had more time.
My pleasure. Thank you.